Welcome back, guys. We had Gen.G tying up the series up against Kingzone DragonX, as Veigar here for Fly was absolutely the MVP. Should have just gotten it. This guy deserves an MVP, I should say, for this awesome setup with the white and the green going on with that Veigar looking really cool. Yeah, I mean, he played an incredible game on that one. It was only a couple of fights, though, that turned the tables, that got them too far ahead. So even though he didn't do much, it was enough, and that leads us into Game 3.
And Gen.G right in the window. Karthus is going to be banned. We'll see what Kingzone respond in the door with. It's going to be the cannon. Gragas now banned away. Kingzone always have pretty fast ban picks. Do have to point that out.
Yeah.
Karma now going to be banned away.
Yeah, we saw a bit of a difference here compared to Game 1. There was Nico banned and Corki banned on the blue side after the Karthus by Gen.G. But instead we get Gragas and Jace to be taken away, as they're changing it up a little bit. So Nico and Corki available, as is the Yuumi that they did pick up in Game 1.
And so now they will pick up the Yuumi. Probably not going to have as catastrophic of an opening as they did in Game 1. Will we just see the Lux Varus picked up here by Kingzone? It does seem so. We're having a bit of a manner ban pick here in game number 3. So now in kind, we need Skarner Ezreal.
How about a third game of Skarner here, Peanut? Feeling up to it. He's discussing it. He says no. Not this time. Sejuani was actually banned in Game 1, so we're going to go back to a favorite of Peanuts here, the Sejuani.
And Lucian now going to be picked up there. As Nidalee being hovered yet again.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the significance might be behind it, as Trundle now will be the lock-in for Naehyun as an answer to the Sejuani, but Gen.G, the Yuumi Lucian, very aggressive, able to snowball out of control down there in the bottom lane. Gangplank being banned. We'll see if Gen.G responds in kind with top lane bans, or what they're going to try to do.
Yeah, it makes sense this time to ban out the GP. They did this in Game 1 too, but that was when Jace was available. But now that there is no big-time counter in the Jace, you got to take away that GP, especially with CuVee on the opposite side, is the main point of importance.
Kali now banned away by Kingzone. And this leads us to our final ban. Will it just be an Azir? Or maybe they don't care. Well, it might be Azir because you don't have the ability to counterpick him here with the Veigar. Unless Kingzone just hands it over to you. But it's actually going to be the Yasuo. And so now if you're Kingzone and you want to conceal, you do just pick top lane. Camille now going to be locked in there for Kingzone. Handed back over to Gen.G to pick blind. Will we just see the Taliyah?
Seemed comfortable to blind pick that the last time. And you do have to mention that Camille, a lot of those wins to get her to 63% were from Rascal. So the guy knows how to play as Camille, and we said it before, CuVee likes his comfort champs. He's going back to the Gnar once again.
And now it's up to Kingzone to decide what they want their final pick to be. It's going to be the Azir, which is so interesting to me because Taliyah, when she originally came onto the Rift years ago, she was considered the hardest answer to Azir that existed at that point in time, when it was the Azir Victor meta. Which, you know what, that was a gentleman's meta. That was one that...
True gentleman.
It was a true gentleman's meta.
Yeah, only true gentlemen really played it that day.
Tahm Kench, he would sit in his throne and he would watch sort of like Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I get that.
Catch my drift.
Yeah.
So,
Cho'Gath was on the sidelines. He wasn't picked very often,
He
but
wasn't.
he was wearing his top hat.
Yeah.
So, you know he was around at least, that's for sure.
And he bought that from the Riot stores. Now, these are going to be the team compositions for Kingzone. So, Naehyun, in all 3 games, has left much to be desired. I would say that he almost solo lost the game with his recall timing in game number 2, and everything leading up to it, even though Cuzz is the one that dies, and thus he's the one that looks bad on the screen. It's not just the jungler's fault.
Cuzz got baited, and then everybody else got baited.
So, Lucian, Yuumi, Taliyah, Sejuani, and then at the very top, Gnar, once again for CuVee, who only picks comfort picks, rather than anything that has to do with the meta. And then on the flip side, for Kingzone, Camille, Trundle, Azir, Varus, and we're waiting for the camera to pan. one last time.
Just in case you forgot.
So it has a lot of poke, it has a lot of siege with the Azir in the bottom lane. Also a lot of engage and split push on the Camille, so lots of modes available.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who can take this one away. It's game 3 for all the marbles. Let's see who will take it as we hop into the Rift. All right, one game to decide the series. And we mentioned this before, both these teams very high up on the standings. Kingzone up towards the top. And Gen.G as well, I think they're one game behind when it does come to actual game score, or I should say match score. And just every single game is going to matter. You know, Kingzone winning 2-0 could make the difference between them being first and second place. Gen.G winning an extra game could be the difference between them making playoffs and not. So every single time you got to show up here, not just to win the series, but to win every single game.
Well, Cuzz maybe deciding where he wants to start and what it might mean for his opening as well as the initial paths. As he's going to blast cone over into the... It looked like he wanted to get into the brush, but it wouldn't matter because there's a ward anyway. As Peanut going to start on the blue. Ruler, that's a beautiful lineup for the minions. And that's a really good Lucian shot to get a lot of tempo on all of these minions inside of the lane. Another good one. And the push is actually in Gen.G's favor. Ruler misses out on a minion, though, so not impressed.
You know, he didn't want to get poked by TusiN and Deft as they had that big shield on him. But it's okay. You don't have to be impressed. It's all right. I know you've got those high standards. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Well.
All right. Sejuani full clearing. Trundle not full clearing. Not sure why. He doesn't have an obligation to realistically be anywhere at this point in time, so it's extremely surprising when junglers in the LCK will do stuff like this. It just leaves you sort of scratching your head as to what is possibly the reasoning for it. Sejuani doesn't have the ability to actually invade the red against the Trundle, and there's not really much to be gained by doing this route, as opposed to having just consumed the Gromp before proceeding on to it. Yes, he will be able to come over and get to the Scuttle Crab almost immediately as it spawns, but that's not the biggest priority because your top laner is able to get priority and Azir is able to get priority almost at a moment's notice.
Wow, level 3 Trundle coming on in here, and he's got his big bat saying get away from the turret, really just trying to zone CuVee away, and look at the respect that CuVee is showing. He doesn't want to get anywhere near that.
Is just level 3. I'm not sure how much XP he's going to end up absorbing off of that lane, but top lane is already ruined. And he is really far behind Rascal right now.
Yeah, it was just a small maneuver too, just
Yeah.
a small walk through the jungle that CuVee was able to see. That kind of spooked him and said, okay, well, I have to give this up in a way.
And it's interesting, you can see that Naehyun, he is having to play a little bit back, even though he's in a left-hand side pocket, despite Cuzz being in such close proximity to him, having to respect the fact that they don't have absolute knowledge on where Peanut is. Life is, he's trying to stop them. Not able to.
If he had only hit that Q, as Deft says, no, I can't go back just yet. I need to catch this wave.
And speaking of a wave, here is a very big top wave that's actually coming in to Rascal. And this is a very painful situation right now if you are CuVee. You know that you're behind. You know that you're going to have quite a large CS deficit, and you also know that you're behind in XP, so not even just lane state. As CuVee just hit level 6, but look at the size of this minion wave in front of Rascal. See how much XP he ends up getting here. Well, looks like he'll lose that one. So a 9 CS advantage right now for CuVee, and now the lane is slow pushing back into him. And we've entered into the
last straw. That's actually my favorite one.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. We've entered into the lull state. All this. So
Yeah.
this is an exciting time here in League of Legends.
It's, you know, we've all been here, just hanging out. It doesn't happen too often in solo queue, which is thankful, right?
Oh, it never happens in solo queue.
Yeah, there's always action happening there.
Add a couple of digits to these zeros.
So, like, 0-0, like double zero?
No, 10 to maybe 20.
At 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's
That
6
sounds
minutes.
nice.
Yeah, definitely a lot of action. 5-man invade.
Oh, yeah, of course. You got to get it started early.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Trying to read that one was Fly. Nice little try as the pillar's going to come down. Fly does not have his flash anymore. Look at Cuzz getting to work here. Trying to put in that damage, but now he's gone a little bit too far. He has to flash away. The stun comes in. As Naehyun doesn't have mana, so he can't really do anything. The heal's going to come forward to get another flash away from King's Zone as Gen.G come out ahead.
That was one of the wonkiest 2v2s I think I've ever cast here in LCK, where it looked like Cuzz was just really angry at Naehyun as he kept going on as the Trundle. That really did look like a tilty moment. It didn't look very synergistic. We're probably going to see it in the replay because it really just looked like had Naehyun committed with Fly, they could have gotten the heal out a little bit sooner, and they both could have just been together for when Peanut would try dealing damage to Cuzz. But now we're going to have a blue buff handoff.
Or a smite away by Peanut.
And
Nice little play there.
Cuzz goes from neutral to mad.
He goes from mad to worse.
Yeah.
More likely.
Glad to mad.
That's a sad Trundle.
Yeah. Oh, that is so sad. Look at him.
Oh, boy.
Man. He stole
What is he carrying with this?
I don't
kid,
know. I
actually?
think that's Lucille.
Shield?
Yeah, Negan's baseball bat.
Oh, okay.
Which, by the way, that comes back in a couple of months. Looking forward to it.
Okay.
He heard us.
He's back.
He's coming to
He's
attack.
looking for kills. As, okay, Peanut might just sacrifice his life here. He's going to flash away, though, and actually nearly gets him under the turret. Cuzz with one more hit, and that's a huge bait from Peanut. Is going to get that kill for Cuzz as he goes from mad to worse to even more.
He is so much madder now, okay? that's how mad he is right now, all right?
Soon he'll reach maddest if another thing happens here.
Madderist. That's the next stage. He's about to go full on Super Saiyan.
He's climbing the tier. He's climbing the ladder here.
Well, this Trundle is really, really far behind at this point in time, and Deft and TusiN not having the best of time down here in bottom lane either, although there is a call, which will definitely offset some of the CS deficit right now. TusiN has the Unsealed Spellbook. Not too much is happening right now, though. So the one saving grace for Kingzone is probably going to be the Camille. And honestly, I say that just because Naehyun has looked very, very, very off with his decision-making in all 3 games.
Yeah, something going on today. Not sure 100%, but take a look at this play. It was actually a fantastic bait by Peanut in the end.
And that was a really good headbutt right there by the Poro. And they chase him underneath the turret, and you can't imagine why Glacial Prison just comes right out.
Doing a little dance there. That'll make the fans really happy. As is one person who's not happy. In fact, he's quite mauled now. That's our
Oh, he's mauled.
our good friend Trundle.
Oh, he's really mauling.
Never gets to play Karthus ever again. Oh, he was having so much fun building Medais and stuff like that, but now Cuzz doesn't get to do any of that. He just has to counterpick the Sejuani and lose the matchup anyway. Peanut's feeling pretty good. I feel like both Fly and Peanut have done a great job of baiting the mid lane plays together. And it kind of feels like we're having another one line up here as they're looking for Peanut. Oh, life. Quick! The lifeboat is here.
All right.
Yeah. That's a good play.
That's sort of like those action movies.
Yeah.
Where it looks like someone's going to die and then a helicopter appears. Never quite.
Hops over the wall.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Jumps off the side of the building, and then just a helicopter comes out of nowhere.
Yep.
How many times more are we going to see that in movies? Because I feel like
it's such a cliche.
It's every single Marvel movie, no doubt. It's just like the same thing every time. I'm not happy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm waiting for the next big evolution.
Feeling like Cuzz right now.
Yeah. It's absolutely
I don't want any more of those scenes, guys.
Well, Peanut doing the Mountain Dragon now. Ruler coming over. They have the priority in bot lane. They have priority apparently whenever they want in mid lane. As Naehyun, he does crash the wave, but Fly. Oh,
okay.
Man. All right.
Getting pretty low up here on the top side. Really hits him at the boomerang, too, as Rascal struggling a little bit. He does have his TP to get back to lane, but let's see how he can farm. For this moment in time, looks like he just has to back away. Nice dodge by Ruler. He's like, I'm playing Lucian, buddy.
Yeah. Varus versus Lucian, it's always a pretty tragic thing sometimes when the piercing arrow can end up missing.
That's why when we saw Lux Varus as the first rotation from Kingzone and that immediate lock-in by Ruler before the next banning phase, as we're having a lot of action, actually. It's a good pick by Ruler is what I'm trying to say here, as they were thinking about diving. It didn't actually pan out, as more brawling up in the top side. And nobody on the side of Kingzone feels safe right now.
All right, well, Peanut going to be stealing away a blue buff this time around, as Kingzone, their team composition doesn't necessarily need to get ahead, but it's designed to. And so the only fallbacks that they're reduced to is going to be the Camille and the split push, as well as the Azir offering the late game scaling. And not, I guess Varus will be going for the on-hit. Or, well, the AD-centric Varus not going to get the lethality, is what I'm referring to. That's
what he's been doing here. Deft liking this build a lot nowadays. So, going to head back into that one, it seems. So I expect the Infinity Edge next if he will follow the same path. Whereas a lot of Essence Reavers are built nowadays in the bottom lane. It's back.
3 minutes until the Infernal Dragon will end up spawning here. And it's quite high priority for both teams. Obviously, Kingzone would like to get it a little bit more as they do utilize it. Slightly better than the opposing team. Yeah, Shelly, she's going to be captured, but it's already 13.5 minutes, so there's no way that the Rift Herald will be able to be converted into turret plate, so it's not the most meaningful objective capture.
They would have to do it really fast here with Taliyah, and then immediately drop it. Let's see if they do it. I'm saying, like, she has to go over the wall right now and go. And We might be out of time. Let's see how fast she can go.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's going to be down to the wire here. How fast can Shelly
Come on,
scuttle?
Shelly.
Oh, come on, Shelly.
Oh.
Shelly. Oh, boy.
Well,
okay. Well, they got the turret at least. It wasn't right on time.
this is why she's picked last in kickball.
Yeah.
Valdez, you know?
She just can't scuttle over quite fast enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
First turret, though, going over to Gen.G. They have the Mountain Dragon already. Will they get the Infernal? Also, Gnar picked up a call for himself. That's a very nice Gnar skin, by the way.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I don't have really anything against it. I'm not a Gnar player myself, so I don't have a Gnar skin that I shout out as mine. But I am a big fan of the it's Crown or
what?
Haru, the Taliyah skin. Who was the one that got that Taliyah skin? It was Crown.
Crown.
Yeah. That makes sense. I played so much of that skin, I don't know how that didn't immediately pop into my head.
Well, how about you tell everyone what was one of your most played mid lane champions? Go ahead.
Annie?
No. No. You'd win if you did that.
Yeah.
Corki, right?
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Nice.
I am
Nice.
a Corki and Orianna player back then when I was good. That was my claim to fame. The time that I hit Diamond on the Korean server, I was abusing the
I remember
the
that.
overtuned Corki and Orianna. I was a two-trick for sure. It was fun though, you know.
Yeah.
Hit Diamond 4 and then I was like, wait.
I don't belong here.
And then I swiftly fell back to Wood 5 where I belong.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Back into the mid lane is Peanut just kind of stomping through as you can see everybody's lining up for the NARAM now. We're not wasting any time now that it's 16 minutes. But really the real reason is they want to push the wave and gain control here because the Infernal Drake has just spawned.
And everyone's posturing around it. And, you know, I really hate when the game state gets to something like this. It really just feels like both teams are consenting to deciding the game here over a neutral. But now I'm happy. Now I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm gladding right now. That's what I'm doing.
Galding.
I'm galding right now. Because Kingzone did not choose to coin flip the game over an Infernal Drake fight.
Smart.
Yeah, it is.
Oh. Okay, well, we got a TusiN kind of out by himself. He's got a big shield, but cannot stand up to the damage that Ruler is packing. And all of a sudden, Gen.G running away with this one. Just a couple of good counter ganks by Peanut in the mid lane into very high value Drakes here. And Gen.G in a great spot in the mid game.
Yeah. Ruler getting some more chip damage there down in bottom. Almost a 4,000 gold lead here for Gen.G against Kingzone here in game number 3. Match point Open Dragon. Going to be coming up next, 3.5 minutes almost. But with the Mountain and the Infernal, the ability to get that Baron is going to be relatively easy around the 23-minute mark, roughly. That's when they should be looking to capture it. But finding a way to try to get the teleport out of Camille prior to that is going to be interesting. To make sure that if she goes into a split push mode down in bottom, she's not able to join the fray.
Did you see that where Lucian was sitting down at the table and it kind of looked like Yuumi was just hanging out on his shoulder? Why don't they make it so that she joins him at the table if they're going to recall at the same time? Or maybe she can sit on the table because she's a cat?
Well, Valdez, take a look at this first.
Okay, all right.
This is where a Lux decided to use her stopwatch to delay the inevitable death by 2.5 seconds. Okay, so
It's valuable.
very valuable. Now, getting back to the important thing, which is what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yuumi's pretty interesting. Because we all know that she's the real
Oh, what?
boss. Oh.
Why did TusiN was going for a Q as he thought someone was coming through the bush. Thought that the Taliyah would actually ride the wall, but instead it was just the wall. So he wasn't able to get over the wall and had to flash it in the end. So the
Oh, man.
Okay, how about this flank? Can they get behind him here? As Cuzz is trying to bait him in, but
Rascal's
he's just
there.
going to be burst down here as already TusiN's going to go down. Rascal trying to do that damage, already able to get Lucian, as maybe they can turn this around. Fly is too low on mana, and now CuVee's all alone here. He's going to be flashed on by Deft, actually reading that perfectly, and nobody can join them. Everybody on the side of Gen.G is just zoned out. Now you can see they won it here. Rascal level 13. There's not a lot of mana here on that Taliyah. He would love some help from his friends, but nobody can quite get there on time. As Kingzone, pretty decent fight there. Able to pick up a couple kills.
So the upside is that Kingzone, they got themselves some kills. The downside, though, is that the lane state was abysmal for all of that to transpire. And then on top of that, I do think that CuVee got the Scuttle Crab, right? Let's take a look at this one more time. It looked like it was going to start out okay for Gen.G. They get the Glacial Person onto Cuzz. He doesn't go down right away. Rascal comes in, uses the Hex Tech Prison right there to lock him up. Peanut running away the best that he can. Fly flashes over the wall. CuVee doesn't really have the best angle on Gnar, but he gets the Scuttle Crab, which is the upside. Throws a rock before he ends up. He doesn't?
No, it's red.
Oh,
red
is
team.
it red?
Yeah. Look at it on the map. It's still there.
What?
He's still. He wasn't even able to get the Scuttle
No.
Crab.
Oh, wow.
Now.
Oh, okay, okay.
Feels bad.
Oh, that is a feels bad man then.
Yeah.
Oh, then it's not as bad
Yeah.
for Kingzone.
Yeah. Not all that bad. So, kind of evening out there in the end, but we still have a similar state here. There's a lot of summoners used on the back of that fight from both sides. Actually, nobody on Gen.G has summoners. As now they're going to try to use that to get on in here. The Subjugate as he hops over the pillar. CuVee just says, see you later. See you later, fam. He's out of there as TusiN. I don't know what's going on. He's just going way too deep alone on the Lux, thinking he's a little bit faster than he actually is.
0-3-1 right now, not having the best game so far. As Gen.G now, they turn their sights towards mid lane. But it is an Azir. So the wave clear on this champion is quite nice, although they are repelling him. Cuzz is almost here, but not before a lot of chip damage. That's going to be a Weaver's Wall.
That's a nice little set play there to just, after taking out the support and another piece of your wave clear, just come on in, use a couple of ultimates. Take down that mid-tier 1, gain some map presence, and even roll that into a Ocean Drake here.
Yeah.
See what else they can roll.
And it's going to be an Infernal. So that is quite good. Now we are approaching that 23-24 minute mark that I mentioned earlier. This is where the main item completions do start coming in that'll allow them to have their spikes and pressure on the map, potentially start looking for the Baron. This is normally around the time where Camille would go into the bottom lane and commence the split push. The only reason that she's continued to be locked up so long here in the top lane is because Kingzone, they don't really have any turrets at all. And so the bottom lane is actually still somewhat preoccupied down there in bot.
That's that, when you do that, if you're not a Taliyah player, I would just recommend going into the practice tool or just playing Taliyah. If you're confident enough, do one of those combos. It feels so good on the minions. Even better on a champion when you can one-shot them after you just, you have a great early game, you get a bunch of penetration early. And a bunch of kills. We're taking a look here at Yuumi going for a ride.
That's really weird.
They
That
look
is some
like good friends.
that's some anti-gravity stuff going on there, though. I'm not buying the telekinesis.
She is the magical cat.
No.
That is her title.
No, she's not.
What do you mean? That's what they named her.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
I
that's
see
what
what
I
you
was
did there.
going for, yeah.
I saw that. I did recognize
You were definitely the one person who caught that.
Yeah. All right. Deft. He has the Quicksilver Sash. He also has the Executioner's Calling.
Maybe they were zooming in because of the Medjais.
I swear, if Fly builds Morel and Omicron,
what other
I'm
item?
gonna be malding. All right. This is where, you know, we just got hit by a typhoon, right? Or a monsoon?
Well,
not a typhoon.
kind of.
Yeah. Kind of.
I heard it was raining out by where you live.
Oh, it was really bad.
Yeah, not really here
Up in
yet.
Incheon.
Yeah.
It's about to be raining here in Lowell Park if Morel and Omicron's purchased by Fly.
The tears will flow from LS, no doubt. As we're getting a big trade here, CuVee kind of knows that he's got to get out, but oh, nice try on the delay, but the stun goes through. As the prison coming in, Rascal going for the Q, but it's not enough. CuVee is able to shut him down as there is enough damage, and you have to know that stun over the wall was what helped him win the fight.
And that's such a tempo swing right now in favor of Gen.G, where Camille's dead for 30 seconds, which means that someone has to go bottom, someone has to try to deal with the Gnar damage, otherwise he's just going to get that turret. And yeah, he will just get it. As you can see that Deft, he looked indecisive. He looked like he wanted to go down there, but opted not to. CuVee rewards himself with an additional wave as well as the turret. And now, the lane's actually going to come back into CuVee, so we'll see what Rascal elects to do with his respawn and everything. As he's up now, he's just running straight down there into bottom lane.
Yeah, they're both going to meet once again down in that bottom side. But, yeah, I mean, it's not something you can expect. Maybe now, at this moment in time, it's something that can happen, as we did see. But as Camille gets more items, we'll have to wait, as they were trying to go for that kind of low percentage chance play. But Naehyun was not having any of it.
Ruler now.
Were you looking at Ruler's items?
I was looking at Ruler's items, and then out of the corner of my eye, I couldn't help but notice
something flat, flat and blue and brown.
Quite a poor decision has been made here tonight, okay. Valdez. Morel and Omicron has been located in Fly's inventory, so I'm gonna need to get Kuzan back in.
Oh boy. He does not get the low standard seal of approval right now.
I mean, there's a lot of healing on the side of Kingzone. Take a look at it.
No, Trundle, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, you catch him.
I get it. As Peanut does not seem to get it here. Let's see how he can get out of this one. Has to flash away, but in goes Cuzz. He's so mad still, and he's going to be able to alley-oop that over to the Azir. You can see now, did Gen.G just go too far? Did Peanut bait his team into too much? That's going to be 2 kills now going the way of Kingzone. Let's see what else they can get from here. It looks like they just want to escape, as TusiN was left alone on the left side. But Kingzone able to pick up 2 kills from here. Let's see what else they can get.
They pick up 2 kills, but the silver lining is that it's not the end of the world for Gen.G, because they're going to be able to most likely get the Infernal. Now, a teleport is coming in from Naehyun. They have such little HP.
And the nuking that can go down. It's a nice binding. They're buying a lot of time here.
There's no Emperor's Divide.
Yeah, it's going to be hard as a big stun into the wall. CuVee trying to do it all alone. Rascal wants to be the hero. As everybody's low on this Rift right now, another binding is going to hit him as TusiN's going to go down.
What are they doing?
And there's just too many low health bars. A failed flash on top of it as Gen.G will just slaughter them in the Baron Pit and pick it all up.
Turn the page, Valdez. Turn the page. This has to be scripted at this point. I'm not entirely sure. There were 5 brains behind that decision. That's all I gotta say about that one. As now Gen.G are driving this up mid. I think they're gonna call for the game. 16 seconds on Deft. That's one of the main primary damage
dealers. They got a big wave though. I don't think they're gonna stop here.
They're going for the Nexus turret. Deft's up in 7, Rascal in 1, Weaver's Wall
All right, they're going to try for it here. No way they could throw it from here, right? Did they go too far? As I guess CuVee is going to be the sacrifice, but Nexus will not go down. Kingzone will stay alive in this one, but I'm not sure how alive they feel after the way that last play went.
Oh, man. Well, they are barreling down their blue side jungle. They're trying to get to the Infernal Dragon, probably expecting to actually run into Gen.G members, but doesn't seem to be the case.
Break it down for us, Ellis.
Yeah, I don't think that I can break it down. I don't think that Kingzone was picking up what Gen.G was putting down inside of this Baron pit. They move behind the Baron, so it's going to deal more damage. They say, you know what, CuVee, can you please pin us up against this Baron pit wall? He says, yes, surely I can. As Rascal, he jumps in head first. He said that he wanted to be the first to die. Deft, he's trying to channel his inner canyon as he fails the flash over the wall. I don't know what they were doing. I honestly just cannot conceive. It's beyond.
It was
beyond my comprehension.
A desperation play that looked just the most silly. As I mean, there were some crazy moments, right? Deft fail flashing over the wall. There was the binded CuVee with 3 sand shoulders on him. As Naehyun's like, no, I'm not going to get the kill. I'm going to continue DPSing the Baron. They were so they were tunnel vision. They had the blinders on, forgetting the Baron, that they just forgot about everything else.
The thing that was surprising is that Naehyun, having his teleport, could have just teleported in a way that they could have just started moving towards the Infernal. Because the reason that it wasn't as catastrophic of a situation, despite Gen.G having just donated 2 kills to Kingzone, was that they were going to have priority to the Infernal, which was a bigger win than 2 kills. But Kingzone could have tried to offset that. They didn't elect to. I don't know. They chased the flush all the way to the river, and it went down the toilet.
All right, well, now we're just doing burst damage to Cuzz here. We got a little bit too close. The final chapter being read to Kingzone. As you can see, another nice ultimate here by CuVee, and the knockup, but still nobody dies on the side of Kingzone somehow, some way, through all of that DPS.
And so now Ruler is going to be backing off out of the base. He's the only real source of damage that's going to be able to cut through the Trundle. As they will back off, 3 seconds remaining on the Baron, but it doesn't really matter. The damage has really been done. It is a 10,000 gold lead almost. They are even on Infernal Dragons, and an Ocean Drake is coming up next, which is pretty good for Kingzone. It means that they are not facing a potential Elder, so they do still have some breathing room. But the unfortunate thing is that the Azir... Wait.
Okay, he went back and sold it. Okay, it's all right. No, wait. He bought it again. But we're watching Azir's items right now, guys, if you're trying to hold on to what we're saying here. Okay, so he bought back.
I must just drop an F-bomb. I wasn't
like
quite
4
sure.
times, and he decided to...
He had 2 Morellos. He can hear me now. That is okay. His headset's off.
He made this game about trolling LS. He's like, well, after that play, nothing else matters.
Yeah, just change the gold. All right, Void Staff it is.
All right, he finally decided on something.
He really has been having quite a series of off games. And when you make that kind of an itemization blunder, I mean, I think that that's even worse than BDD's, was it triple lifeline? Yeah, triple lifeline. That definitely cakes the take.
Yeah.
Takes the cake.
Yeah.
Everyone's just making blunders here tonight.
Yeah.
We're all getting tongue-tied. He's getting item-tied.
That's a good way to say it, when you just accidentally buy the wrong item. He just wanted more of the magic penetration. He forgot which item he was buying.
He wanted all of that goodness that's inside of the Morellonomicon.
It's a great item.
Oh, man.
Especially good against the Zoomies from Yuumi. Yeah, so it's the main reason.
Yeah. So don't forget about the lifesteal. on the scimitar.
Okay.
You gotta cut that down.
Forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's important.
And you know double is always better, so.
Right. two books is better than one. First edition, second edition. That's what he was going for, yeah. And you know where he got that idea was from Luden's Echo.
Ah, okay.
See?
Yeah, okay.
That's what the Echo actually says.
All right, yeah. I see where you're going for there.
Yeah.
So that's who's telling them all to buy Morellos.
I am losing my mind. All right.
As, yeah, we're still in this game. I mean, Kingzone down 10,000 gold. As Gen.G say, we gotta wait for this Baron, essentially, as, well, Gen.G Ruler says, no, you're wrong. We can just get the kill, and we can push down mid. As after getting that pick, there's no jungler, and they just say, how about we pick up this inhibitor first?
Seems like Ruler heard what you said, but he wanted to measure the situation here, as now Peanut is looking to potentially just find an engage here with the Glacial Prison. And this can definitely be the end of the game. Naehyun, he's going to erect his turret.
Oh, they were looking for him, but the Mikhails is there. Onto Rascal. And that's actually not helping them. The wall, they're trying to get on top of Ruler here, but they don't quite have the damage. He stays alive for so long. Take a look at Naehyun's damage now. He's going to be the one that's really on the backside. Can he do it all alone? The soldiers, they're fighting their hearts out here as Naehyun once more, but he went a little bit too far. Has to flash away. Peanut has to get out of there, but it's such a close fight. He's going to go down too. Cuzz is looking for that one last pillar, but he can't quite get in range as Kingzone will stand their ground.
It is Naehyun and Cuzz going to try to two-man this Baron. This is really scary. CuVee, he has teleport available. Rascal does too. I think they're all in. I think they want to gamble, but instead...
Fly doesn't have it here, but he will get the kill, actually, with the help of Life, of all people. As he's got a lot of zoomies. That's a fast little cat. She's going to get away.
I think he danced. Oh, okay. Well, all right. That puts a damper on the Baron attempt, but Kingzone, that was the battle of what was it? Is it Helm's Deep? The two.
Yeah.
You right? All right. So we're getting a glimpse back at Lord of the Rings right here. As Kingzone, they really just held on. They were fighting this 4 versus 5. Gen.G just so uncoordinated. Just trying to attack move basically into Kingzone, and this was one pissed off Emperor. I'll tell you what.
We're getting Baron in live too. I'd love to take a look at that. It's going to go the way of Yuumi. Good old Yuumi with her 22 stacks of Magi says, thank you very much, I'll nuke that down.
Oh, man. All right.
This is a big cat.
That is an angry kitten.
Wow.
You just did that.
I had to go for it. I mean, it's like, that was going to be my one chance to meow on the broadcast, so I just went for it. Gen.G really wanted Helder to spawn. And they're going to get it eventually, but they still got to wait 5 minutes. So Baron now on Gen.G, they're ahead 10,000 gold. They've tried so many times to end the game, and they failed multiple times.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can do it this time.
How many times have they actually tried right now? 2, right?
Yeah,
3. 4th time's the charm.
3,
4-leaf clover, okay?
Yeah.
Here we go. This is how this works.
Lucky 4-leaf clover.
Yeah, lucky charms.
Yeah.
I guess that's the answer. What's the best cereal?
Well, I mean.
Maybe if you're Gen.G. All right.
They would have liked some other drinks instead of the oceans if that were the case.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. All right, they are definitely taking their time. This is one of the problems with their team composition, though. They are all short range. They have a heavy reliance on that Sejuani engage.
Team fight ults.
Yeah.
You know, Peanut, CuVee, trying to line them up together.
CuVee, he almost has Mega available. Gonna raise that bottom inhibitor.
Yeah, you can see that Kingzone are kind of just going to rely on, well, Cuzz is just gonna die again. He's standing too far forward in these fights, and unfortunately, he's not able to hold the line.
We're just gonna rely on.
Oh boy. Ruler's just doing way too much damage. This game is over. They tried so hard to hold on, but it's not going to be enough. As down will go the Nexus, and Gen.G will continue the win streak against all odds, taking the 2-1 victory, the reverse sweep. After getting stomped in game 1, they show up and take the series.
And this is obviously really surprising, and what a good bounce back from game number 1 mentally. But also, this begs the question of, well, game number 1, obviously catastrophic in terms of how unlucky they were with the opening that they elected to do and then what ended up happening for it. But then game number 2 and 3 is probably much more of a representative showing of what they're actually capable of.
Absolutely.
And so they did beat Kingzone here.
It's very good that you mentioned that. You know, game 1 was not a normal game of League of Legends. It just started way on the wrong foot. And then Fly comes out and carries hard on FLICKR in game number 2. And then again here in game number 3, there were a couple of moments where you're like, whoa, they're going to throw, like, trying to end the game a little bit too fast. But outside of those couple of moments, it did feel like Gen.G was in control of games 2 and 3, which were the normal League of Legends games that we're used to. So it raises more questions and queries about, you know, how good exactly is Gen.G? Because Kingzone, I mentioned it before, Gen.G, they can defeat Griffin, they can defeat Sandbox, a couple of teams that are kind of on the down swing. But Kingzone is only going up and up. And for them to come in here and defeat them in a best of 3, I mentioned it before, it's not over until it's over. And they proved a lot tonight by being able to take out this extremely tough opponent.
Yeah. And their next match that Gen.G is going to end up facing, looks like it's going to be SK Telecom.
Yeah.
And so they're not out of the woods yet. So
yeah, SKT, another team that's surprisingly getting better and better the more we see them. So that should be an interesting matchup. Ruler with a bit of fan service here. Yeah. 2 arms up there. That guy, by the end of the game, was just the scariest Lucian. That's like a 3-star with 3 items.
Yeah.
The guy's got like 2 Zeeks and 3 Solaris right next to him. He's like so stacked. That Lucian is the challenger Lucian you want on your team. And, oh boy, he was doing the big DPS towards the end.
well, it says Autumn Gen.G.
Yeah.
That is what the sign there says. And what is that? I mean, I recognize the letters. I'm just not sure.
Yeah,
what
we don't know the abbreviation there. It's a Korean meme for praising
Peanut.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Okay.
Some Peanut fans, some Gen.G fans. It really does feel like the season of Gen.G is coming in. You know, the leaves are not quite turning, colors just yet. But
like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, I know. We're very
doing?
far away from that, but it's still called the autumn season for Gen.G. And that is why they do call it.
Go to the highlights here. Take a look here. Now look at what an absolute savant Peanut is, able to mind control Cuzz into coming exactly into turret range. Absolutely brilliant, G Willikers. As Rascal, he comes in here, he gets exhausted on his Hextech ultimatum, but it didn't really matter. This was actually a victory for Kingzone. I could have sworn that Gnar got that, but I guess not. He just stole it away. Rascal being a rascal.
Yeah.
Stealing that away there with that sweep. As right here.
This was a turning point.
Yeah,
in the game.
this was a turning point in the game. Gnar threw Camille up against it. He said, no, I don't want to go today. Rascal coming over the wall, yeah. Looking for a fight against CuVee. And CuVee just asked him to come right around the corner. Told him he wasn't having enough.
Yeah. Showed him what he had hidden back there.
Yeah.
As, man, this was another fight where we were once again hyped for the possibility. Could Kingzone actually carry it on the back of this Azir? We've seen this seed before.
Azir looks great when he has free deal.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, looks quite good. Slap a rapid fire cannon on him. He sits in the back.
Yeah, oh, yeah, great.
Wrong
double
game.
your range, right?
Wrong game, yeah. Subjugate right there, killing the port. That is such a sad death animation.
This play was
And then right here, this is also actually very saving. Fly sacrifices himself for the life of the team. And then Life's able to get away. I want to see actually if Life dances. Okay, or just cut
He
the
did a
replay.
spin.
You know what?
It kind of looked like he was doing something
Yeah.
as Cuzz over.
Brother
over
Cuzz,
tonight.
yeah.
I don't know. The Trundle, it can be hard at times, you know.
The distance between him and his teammates is inconceivable what he's intending to do. And then even Rascal right there, too. As Team Voices coming in.
바로 할 거야. 내가 나를 발전하고 아지르 노공이고.
Azir has no ult.
천천히 들어가. 천천히. 카밀 노공이야.
Going slow.
Camille has no ult.
아지르 노플. 보자 보자 이제 보자.
Someone no flash. Camille no flash?
I think so, yeah.
천천히. 아지르 노플.
Azir no flash.
카밀 천천히 해. 천천히 하면 돼. 천천히 하면
Go
돼.
slow, go slow, go
Slowly.
slow.
Yeah.
천천히 해. 천천히. 바로 다 죽는다 얘네. 다 죽을 거야. 가자 가자 가자.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah. And that's when you kind of felt like Gen.G
Yeah.
took over the game. That one play where Kingdom was behind, they were on track actually. And this game turned into a little bit of a fiesta.
Well, yeah, this is the spot that I was also talking about where they could have utilized the teleport differently to get the Infernal and not coin flip the Baron. Maybe they could have won had they done that. But Kingzone never likes to take things slow.
No, not really. They just felt like they had enough DPS with Varus Azir and said, hell, let's just go for it.
Yeah. You can actually see it too on the
Yeah.
the gold difference. That's actually the Baron.
The
play.
little dip is where Kingzone get the 2 kills, and then the Baron play is where the graph continues on the trend upwards. So
Cuzz has achieved equilibrium 4.8k to Peanuts 4.8k.
nice. Yeah, matching. Very, very good.
If he retires on that note, I mean, there's no better thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to match the Sejuani pick with his Trundle pick, and that's the way that he decides to do it, as Life is actually going to pick up the MVP vote here. He actually did set up a lot of the kills with his Q, so props to him.
Right here, Peanut finding the Glacial Prison. Not sure why TusiN elected to use his stopwatch. Ruler coming over the edge right here. TusiN yet again making a quick donation.
They saw him there.
Yeah. And then right here, this was really good.
This is the highlight play
Yeah.
for Yuumi, where she just puts on her glasses.
Yeah.
See you later,
Absolutely.
dude. Because that's what Yuumi sounds like.
Is that
Just
what
like-
she sounds
yeah,
like? Does she
exactly like
have that kind of a
I gotta
voice?
get into voice
I think
acting.
that, yeah, you need to do her voice.
I think I nailed it right there.
Yeah, you
that's,
definitely did.
That's what I'm pretty good at that.
Nailed.
Yeah, so we are just about ready to go into the interview. We are going to be hearing from a couple of members of Gen.G. I'm going to hand it over to Ji-san for the translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Season with the Universe Translation, and we'll be hearing from Fly live from Gen.G. Fly, how do you feel about the win? Well, we never defeated Kingzone this year, so really happy that we were able to pull that off this time. As you mentioned, Kingzone is one of the strongest teams in LCK, so Life, how did you prepare, or what was the focal point of this series? Since we never took them down, we really going all in for this. You know, this was one of the most important match for us, so we were just doing our best for this. So let's go back to game. Game number 1 was not really a good game for Gen.G. However, you guys were able to give it back starting from game number 2. So during the feedbacks, well, the coaches told us not to rush. So game number 2, Fly, your FLICKR showed up again. Last time it was also up against Azir. So fans were really surprised that FLICKR was a very strong and viable pick. So would you like to promote FLICKR? So first, well, I just want to be the only player using FLICKR, to be honest. So maybe for promotion, maybe it's a good pick in late game. So, but don't play it. So FLICKR, I guess it's gonna be the fly only pick in LCK. So let's go through a highlight that FLICKR did so much work with his event Horizon.
그냥
So I just,
마크가 들어오잖아요. 들어올 수밖에
you know, Zach
없잖아요. 그래서
has to come in, you know.
딜라인이 이제 스톱만
So
걸어주면
I was
된다고 생각해서
concentrating my best to put down the CC in the damage dealers. And game number 3 was a little bit extended, so I want to talk about the draft. So you were playing Yuumi in game number 1 and 3, so Gen.G fans was a little bit unsure about Yuumi because it has a very low win rate, 1 to 5. Why did you stick to Yuumi today? It was not about Yuumi. It was just that we were performing really bad, so we weren't able to pick up any wins on Yuumi. However, we were able to see some variation on AD carry. We were just playing the champions that we wanted to play. So, we have the highlight for the first Baron fight. It was actually a 3v5. What was going on over there? Well, the enemies were really low, and I was Yuumi, so I could really poke. And CuVee had his flash. He was also a Mega Gnar, so I think we were able to pull up some good fight over there. So, were you planning to steal that Baron as well? Well, if we were able to take down all the opponents, we would naturally get that Baron. So, our first thought was to kill all the enemies. Today, you guys were able to reverse sweep the game. And in the previous interview, actually, Live said you are way better at Lux, so you don't want to share any tips on Lux to fly. Any response to that? Get ready to be beaten till you die. Life. Your next opponent will be SK Telecom. Well, Peanut is not here, but Khan also mentioned that. Well, he won 1v1 on Lucian, so any resolution going into SKT series?
SKT라는 팀도 이제
Well, SKT, the team,
굉장히 잘한다고
I
생각해서
personally think they are really
열심히 준비해서
performing well, so I'm just gonna do my best in preparation, and I just want to pick up a win. And Life, would you like to add on to that? I'm gonna do my best to prepare for the series and make sure to gather good results on that day. This will be the end of the interview with Fly Life from Gen.G, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you, Ji-sun, as always, for the wonderful translation. Man, Fly really doesn't like to hold back in interviews as he's just on there flaming Life after Life gets an MVP. And that is going to change up the standings a bit as Gen.G will overtake, it looks like here, Kingzone. I don't know exactly what the head-to-head is. I would assume it would be 1-1 with Kingzone winning in the first round. So maybe they're exactly tied right now, as I do not know the tiebreaker after the head-to-head, because they got the same indicator score, same match score. Perhaps it's win streak, because Gen.G are on a bit of a win streak here. 4 wins in a row and looking good to solidify a spot in the playoffs. We'll see if they can do it and hold out until the end of the season.
And remember, the next match for Gen.G is SKT, who's on a win streak themselves.
Yeah.
So they're not out of, if they beat SKT, then that's really gonna start saying something. Then they actually have a little bit of an easy road ahead of them. So
yeah, hey, I mean, KT just won up against Afrika. KT will be their next team after SKT.
all right.
But
Well,
for tomorrow, we do have Jin versus Afrika, and then Hamalite versus Sandbox there for that second matchup. So myself and Low Standards will be joining you again tomorrow for the broadcast.
Where's
should be a lot
Alice?
of fun. Alice, he went to China. He casted some other stuff over at WCG, and he'll be back next week. But thank you guys once again for watching. We love you. We'll have a good night. See you later.
You take me higher when I feel low. Make my world brighter when I'm alone. I keep on rolling, all with your fuel. You're like my gasoline that makes my dream come true. 'Cause this is the beginning. Together we'll be winning. You're all I need. I'm feeling fine. I keep on rolling, all with your fuel. You're like my gasoline that makes my dream come true. 'Cause this is the beginning. Together we'll be winning. With you I'm a savage. Make my sorrow silly. 'Cause with you I'm feeling feather light. Light like a feather, white like the wind. I fly together to wherever. You taught me love and we all the bling. You're